New on Live at 4, continuing coverage of the deadly hate crime in Fresno with the police plea for the gun used in the attacks. What we know about the man who picked up the weapon and walked away.
Plus, the life of the suspected shooter. Only on Live at 4, a look inside the bedroom of Corey Ali Muhammad in his family's home and what his father says led to a downward spiral, including claims of practicing voodoo.
And stunning losses.
The heartbreak of loved ones and the community after 4 lives were senselessly taken in the racist Rampage. Action News Live at 4 starts right now.
Number 1 in Central California. This is ABC 30 Action News Live at 4.
I'm asking for this individual, Hispanic male, that picked up that firearm, that ultimately took it to 161 North Yosemite and unloaded the empty shell casings, to turn themselves in immediately.
Fresno's police chief made that desperate plea today to the man who took the weapon used in the deadly shooting rampage in central Fresno. At that news conference today, Police Chief Jerry Dyer also gave a detailed account of the killer's actions, outlining the suspect, Corey Muhammad's moves before, during, and after the shooting spree.
Now, he began the news conference by offering condolences to the families of Muhammad's victims, beginning with security officer Carl Williams, who Dyer says was shot by Muhammad at a Motel 6 last Thursday night. Mark Gassett, Zachary Randalls, and David Jackson were all gunned down in central Fresno yesterday within a matter of minutes. Now, we have live team coverage of today's developments, beginning with Action News reporter Brian Johnson. He's live at Fresno Police Headquarters with new details about what Muhammad told detectives after his arrest. Brian.
Well, Graciela and Margot, Chief Dyer gave a very detailed overview of Muhammad's actions since last Thursday, and that's because they say Muhammad has given detectives a very full picture of what he has done and the reasons for it. And Dyer says his words match up with the evidence that they have and the witnesses they've talked to so far. Just to recap, Muhammad is accused of killing Carl Williams at a Motel 6 last Thursday night. The chief says security at that hotel asked him to leave, and that Muhammad shot Williams because he felt disrespected by him. After that, the chief says Muhammad hid on top of a nearby 7-Eleven until the next morning, before eventually taking a bus to the Herndon and Milburn area, where Dyer says he hid near a ravine until Sunday. It's there that Dyer says he practiced voodoo rituals and cut his dreadlocks off. Eventually, he made his way to the Tower District on Tuesday. That's when he went online and saw he was wanted for the Motel 6 homicide.
What he told our detectives last night was that once he saw that he was wanted for murder, he was not going to go down for shooting a security guard for disrespecting him, but that he was going to kill as many white males as possible.
And after that, we know Muhammad went on his brief but deadly shooting spree in central Fresno, killing 3 white men. Dyer says Muhammad claims to be Muslim and has told detectives he doesn't like white men because they're responsible for keeping black people down. The chief says he has shown no remorse for what he has done over the last few days, and that Muhammad does not believe he is a coward nor a terrorist. Dyer also made a desperate plea, like you guys said this afternoon, directed at a man that police believe, took Muhammad's gun after a brief exchange after he shot these 3 white men in central Fresno. And right now they're urging that men to come forward, turn over that gun so Fresno police can continue their investigation. Margot?
Brian, what else do we know about the man suspected of having that weapon and how he got it into his possession?
Yeah, Margot, what we understand is, again, after Muhammad had a brief interaction with this man after he carried out these shootings, they had some kind of conversation, allegedly, and basically this man took the gun from Muhammad and ran from the scene, then apparently went into a backyard of a home in the area and emptied the shell casings from the gun, which Fresno police have recovered. But again, they have not recovered that gun, and they say that man is somewhere with that gun, and again, just urging him to call Fresno police.
Thank you, Brian, for that live report and that update. And again, Fresno police reiterating that they have surveillance video of that man with a gun in his possession. Thank you, Brian.
Well, Corey Mohammed's immediate family was not surprised to find out that he had carried out a rampage. Action News anchor Corin Hoggard joins us from the newsroom where the father's fears come true. Corin.
Yeah, Graciela, first and foremost, Vincent Taylor told me he wanted everyone to know how sorry he is about what his son has done, especially the families of his 4 victims. But he also says it might have been prevented. Mohammed grew up as Corey Taylor, and his dad tells me he had a good childhood until the crack epidemic reached his family. He said Corey took the name Mohammed and started following the Nation of Islam in his teens, and he believed the narrative that white people introduced crack to the black community. His dad says Corey Mohammed did have a hatred towards white people, and he tried to talk his son out of it. Now, we got a look at Corey's bedroom in his father and grandmother's house and the shrines he built there in the bedroom and outside the Northwest Fresno home. His dad tells me Mohammed showed up at that home on Sunday, and because he'd cut the dreadlocks he'd had for more than 10 years, they knew he'd done something bad. But when Vincent Taylor asked him about it, Mohammed's girlfriend interjected. She said he'd done the kind of thing you take to the grave. Police say Mohammed killed Motel 6 security guard Carl Williams on Thursday, 3 days before that. Coming up on Action News Live at 5, we'll hear again from Vincent Taylor about his son's attitude towards white people and race wars. From the newsroom, Corin Hoggard, ABC 30, Action News.
Thank you, Corin. Families and friends of the 4 victims of Mohammed's killing spree are in mourning, trying to make sense of a senseless loss. Action News reporter Gene Higginson joins us now live from Catholic Charities, where he spoke with the mother of one of those victims. Gene?
Near where Mark Gassett was shot and killed, the 37-year-old had just received a bag of groceries here from Catholic Charities and was walking away when he was shot and died. Now, Gassett was the father of 2 boys, aged 9 and 13. His mother and his stepfather came here to the memorial setup where he was killed, and the pain they felt was obvious.
He wasn't homeless like they said. He was not homeless at all. I'm not sure why he was here getting food, but he wasn't homeless. He wasn't a homeless that you see walk around all the time.
His mother also said he was a very caring, very loving person. She said the death has taken a terrible toll on his 2 sons. Now, the 2 other victims killed yesterday were Zachary Randalls, he was 34 and a PG&E worker, and Daryl Jackson, a 58-year-old man. Now, killed last Thursday was Carl Williams, as you heard, the motel security guard. Now, Williams' family is planning a blood drive in his name tomorrow. GoFundMe accounts have been created for the family of Zachary Randalls, and the memorial for the victims here at Catholic Charities continues to grow. Reporting live from Central Fresno, Gene Higginson, ABC 30 Action News.
Thank you, Gene. We continue to bring you new information on this still developing story coming up in our next half hour.